In this video, we are looking at the importance of systemization and specifically the fourth most common reason that systems fail, and that is lack of training.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Growth Journey Show, the weekly show for business leaders looking to scale their business. Now, if you've been to our scalability score calculator, you'll notice that systems appear twice. And one of the reasons why systems fail is a lack of training. So why have we got this book on the table today, Steve?
We've got this book on the table today because in one of the chapters there's a really good explanation of what commonly happens with training. So what happens typically with training is that one training session's run, your team's skill level spikes and then it drops off really rapidly. They're left with a higher level of skill, but it's nowhere near what they learnt in the training session. So what Chet Holmes, the author of this book, recommends is that you run regular training sessions. So what happens in the second training session, their skill levels spike. It drops off at a much slower rate and they're left with a higher skill level. Repeat that a few times and your team will have a much higher skill level than just running that training once.
So a few of the challenges you face when trying to implement a training program is the fear of God that the word training will send a shiver down your employee's spine. That's definitely something to factor in.
Yeah, the second thing is that you just haven't factored training into the systemization efforts. It's something that's commonly overlooked. 95% of the effort goes into the building of the system and only a really small amount of time and effort goes into training.
So a couple of ideas we've got for you to try and overcome these challenges to make sure you get training systemized and into your business. The first one would be just to simplify the system down so that you minimize the amount of training that's needed. What's the example of this one?
So an example we were thinking about is McDonald's. Every time you walk into McDonald's, basically you can employ pretty much anybody to work in McDonald's as long as they've got the right attitude, and then constant training happens, and it means that with a really low skill level you can get pretty decent burgers and fries and shakes and stuff out the door because they've really simplified the system.
So another example is Khan Academy, and we want to prompt you to think about how you deliver the training. So Khan Academy is really great in terms of it's flips the delivery model on its head, and essentially they send you away to watch a bunch of videos, then you come back into the classroom to learn how to implement those things that you've learned.
And the third thing is to build it into your system. So one of our customers has built the training into their machines, so the machine gives hints and tips to the operator as they use the machine. Have you remembered to do this? This is how you set the machine up for this particular task. We see it a lot with software programs. So can you think about delivering your training in that way and actually build it into your systems?
So I hope you found this episode of the Growth Journey Show valuable. Don't forget to go to scalability score calculator on our website, click on the link below and figure out how scalable your business is. So until next week,